Hey everyone, it's Caito, and in today's video, I am finally finished with my no terraforming island. We're gonna check it out. The dream address is finally here. So if you're interested in content like this and you want to see more in the future, I'd appreciate it if you like and subscribe. Make sure you hit that notification bell if you want to get notified every time that I post. But let's get right into it. So we are here on Burgonya. I just saved the dream address. Finally, it's done. This island took me forever. It really wasn't that long, but for me, it felt like forever. And I think I may have started decorating for fall a little bit too soon, but that's okay. I love the way that it turned out. I'm very happy with it. So here we are. Let's check out the map first. It's not very interesting. I'll say that because it's the exact same as the map that I started with. I did not modify a single thing. I didn't modify any cliffs, didn't modify any of the rivers, none of it. It's all exactly the same. So here it is. Here are my villagers on the left here. We have Zell, Lolly, Bo, Olive, Hazel, Fauna, Agnes, Bill, Anchovy, and Molly. I love them all so much. There is my dream address at the bottom of the map. If you want to come hang out and follow along while I'm doing this tour here, there's that. Or if you want to visit later, it's there for you. It'll also be down in the description if you want to check it out there as well. But let's go ahead and get into the tour here. I always feel a little strange touring my own islands. I feel a lot more comfortable touring other ones because I feel like I'm experiencing it for the first time, but I'm going to do the best I can. And here is my entrance here. So one of the things with a no terraforming island that was the biggest struggle for me is finding ways to add height to an area. So with this entrance, that is one of the reasons I wanted to do a little neighborhood here, because buildings really do help add height. Buildings and trees are kind of the biggest proponents for adding height. So that's what I did here. I did a little neighborhood and I love the way this turned out. It's one of the first things I did. I always start with my entrance. It changed a little bit along the way, but overall it's pretty much the same. I'm gonna go to the left like I always do with all of my tours. Over here, I just have a little seating area. My beaches they all just look like this. They all just look like this. I just wanted them to be kind of overgrown, simple. There's nothing on them except for flowers and weeds. But behind here is a pumpkin patch, which you can actually get to if you go behind Lolly's house over here. So I'll go ahead and walk this way. And here is that pumpkin patch. This was very inspired by Diana Daisies. If you're not following her, you should be. She makes amazing YouTube content, and I'm pretty sure she was doing a pumpkin patch, and I was like, oh, I want to do one of those. And so this is what I ended up with. I love the way that it looks. And then I just have this little table behind here. And then we're going to head over to my favorite area, which is this section right here. And this is my orchard section. I really wanted to do a linear orchard, which is just where they're all straight in a line. I've done so many kind of scattered, more natural looking orchards. I have the apples scattered over here. Oh, look at Lolly in there. Look how cute she is. I have this garden here, but I wanted to have a linear one. And I added this swing back here, which I love. I feel like this just adds some depth to the orchard rather than being all trees. And then this little section right here next to it where you can pick and cut your fruit over there. Next to it over here is an overgrown park and soccer field area, and just a small little picnic spot back here. Another one of my favorite areas. These were some of my favorite to do, and I love the way they turned out. I'm really happy with it. Obviously, I had to include a red steel staircase for some reason. There's always one of these on my islands at this point. I don't know what it is about them, but I love them, and I love the way it looks right here. Then we have our villager neighborhood section, one of them anyway. This is Olive's house right here, and then Fauna's house. Super simple. They just have some little decorations outside. We have a garden here. I have a lot of these wind turbines on this island. A lot of them. And I love them. This is another item I used a lot to create height. I also love that they add a movement aspect. So that's a favorite item of mine, I think. Coming over this way, we have Anchovy's house. And then up here is Agnes's house. She has a vineyard in front of her house. And then Anchovy has this little apiary, which I think is really cute. This one I struggled with. Again, the whole height thing was an issue. I wish you could stack these items on top of things, but you can't. So there's that. I'm actually going to go back down this way because I like the way if you enter this overgrown area over here, I like this walkthrough right here. I wanted this whole transition area to just feel super overgrown, so I just added a bunch of weeds and then time traveled so they would all grow in really tall. I wish we could have more tall weeds, but alas, we cannot. So there is that, and then heading back over here, this is where I decided to put my nooks. Back here, I just have this simple writing area, this almost like bow tie shaped lake. Again, I didn't modify any of the water, so that's just kind of what it was. Nooks is really simple, just some garden areas next to it. I have a lot of flowers and gardens on this island. And then I have this orange hyacinth and white Cosmo. Like I said, a lot of wind turbines, but we just have this flower field right here with the orange trees. I like the idea of using a fruit tree and then complementing it with a flower of the same color. And I like the softness of an orange hyacinth. So that's what we went with. Up here, I have these two cabin houses. Up here on this hill, this is Molly and Bo's house. I love this. I love their little houses. I love this pinwheel right here. And I just liked the idea of having these two cabins here. When I was building this island, one of the first things I did was place the houses and the inclines and bridges because I felt like that was necessary, so I knew where things were going to have to go for it to make sense. So that was one thing I appreciated about the No Terraforming Island, is planning it out first. It was really helpful. So there's that. I'm going to go back down this way. I feel like a lot of the areas you kind of have to enter from the front for them to have the best effect or impact. But here is Able Sisters over here. And I have this strawberry patch. So I kind of wanted it to feel like they were using the strawberries to dye the clothing. And I just kind of went with a whole red theme here. We had the strawberries, the apples, the red tulips, and there was that. Coming back here to the entrance, if you go to the right, I have a tulip field, which leads straight up to resident services. And then if you go to the left, there is a park area, which is another one of my favorites. I love using these springy ride-on toys. I always think they're really cute. I love making a good park. I think parks are underrated. This walkway was probably one of the most challenging areas to decorate because there's not a lot of room here. And so you're really limited with what you can put. So I had to think of things that could line this cliffside. So I went with some benches. We have this kind of cookie cart area, and then a phone booth and a little seating area here. That was definitely, that and decorating in front of Nooks were the two most challenging, because in front of Nooks I had that lake that I had to work around. And then over here this way, I did make sure to decorate along that cliff over there as well. This is where my campsite is. And then over in the distance, there is a mushroom forest area. Random pumpkin patch over here. And this is just kind of an extension. I had to figure out what to do. This cliff could not be accessible just based on where it was and how everything was terraformed to begin with. So I just kind of extended the whole campsite idea up onto the cliff. So I have some tents back there and just kind of some random decorations as well, just to extend that out. Coming down this way, it leads to mine and Hazel's house, which I wanted to do a bunch of garden areas, and I really liked the idea of having these color blocked gardens with the white, yellow, and red to play off of our house colors, and I love this. I love Hazel. She's my favorite villager. I love that our houses are right here together. And then I extended the garden out onto the beach. This is one of the only beach areas that's decorated. I don't know why I did that, but I did. So there is that. And then last but not least, if you come down this way, I have my museum, which is still in Blather's tent, which I love. And then it's just an overgrown butterfly garden. I love the addition of this statue. I feel like it really kind of complements the tent in a weird way. I also wanted to include all of these bird cages and bird houses here to have a little aviary outside of the museum. I was just trying to think of something different. I always kind of go the bug research route, and I want to do something a little bit different on this island, so that's what I went with. And if you walk around this way, it leads you right back to the entrance. I think we saw it all. Super easy tour. I mean, there's no terraforming, so it's pretty easy to navigate all the houses around all the way. There's a lot of ways to get each direction, but yeah, that is Burgonya, my no terraforming island. I'm happy with how it turned out. I'm also glad to be finished with it at the same time, so I can start something else. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I can't wait for you to visit. If you do visit, feel free to tag me on Instagram, Twitter. If you take any pictures, I would love to see them. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, I'd appreciate if you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.